I think I'll forget to save my game, then go die, and have to do it over again. Sounds like a plan. A shitty spear. I'm sure that Targe isn't as good as mine. Nope. Shitty spear and shitty stockings. Shit and shit. Lots of shit. We've got 2 switches. Nothing in here. Uniquely among human cultures, verse tradition insists that humanity can trace descent from the beasts of old. In those days, say the tales, there were no bears, no wolves, no lions, only a vast family of beasts who could change their forms at will. According to these legends, the creator god decided to appoint seneschals amongst the beasts to enforce their will. These were the first Dockenware. But the gods soon realized that although the Dockenware would listen to their commands, they did not carry them out, allowing the beasts to do whatever they liked. So the gods revoked their favor from the Dockenware and created human beings to impose order upon the world. Men dutifully separated the beasts into breeds, or separate and distinct, forbidding them from changing their shapes and bringing order to the natural world. The Dockenware were cast out at the command of the gods, and they retreated into the remotest wilderness where they gazed upon men with hate. I don't believe in fairy tales. Well, it's supposed to be the guy.
Thank you. I heard the commotion upstairs. That woman! She's not dead?
Rajani is beaten, but she isn't dead.
Well, we shall soon remedy that. How dare she march an army into Raven's Rill and murder good sons of the Legion? I'll see her hang!
You're Lazar Vasily, the boyar of the town?
The Chef Boyar!
Boyar is an old and stuffy title. Lazar is fine, especially among friends.
You're the only prisoner? Rajani didn't lock anyone else down here?
No, I was the only asshole.
In the streets? No need. My people fear the witchmen. They're the villains of every bedtime story, and most of those stories are true.
We should get back upstairs.
Quite right. Before Rajani wakes.
Alright, something's gonna happen here.
The town is ours. They're fleeing into the woods in total disarray.
What about Rajani? You saw how she fights. She calls fire at will, and her eyes, they're like mine.
Who are you, girl? You look like someone I knew. You speak with her voice.
Anjali is one of us. A child of the Legion, like me.
My friend speaks the truth, Rajani. Whoever you think I am, you're wrong.
Or perhaps you're a false prophet meant to lead me astray. If you fight for the Legion, you're an enemy. Nothing more.
The Legion's done nothing to you.
My lady has told me of the Legion's crimes. She defeated you once, and she'll defeat you again.
Jane Cassinda, the old enemy. 30 years on and she's still hunting the Legion.
And why should she not? You're traitors, kingslayers, murderers.
How can we be a threat to you? We don't even know who you are.
But we like your flamboyant
She's an
dressing
Archon.
style.
I know it sounds mad, but look at her. Just like the stories, only she's real.
What do these stories say about Archons?
They were divine messengers, heralds of the old creator gods. You see their pictures in books. Statues of them are supposed to bring luck.
Kingslayers, murderers? What does she mean?
Lies. Stories that the old king was murdered by the Legion. That's how Jane Cassinda turned the people against us.
She claimed that the Legion betrayed its oath, tried to seize power for itself.
They're not lies. My lady spoke the truth. But believe what you want.
We have to decide what to do with her. Suggestions?
Let's eat her.
She attacked a defenseless town, murdered your friends at the estate. Why are we discussing this? Kill her and let justice be done.
Wait. Listen to her words. She's misguided, confused. She fears us. Killing her wouldn't be justice. She's yielded. What if we set her free? Show Jane Cassinda that the Legion still has honor.
Rajani, you're free to go. We're not your enemies, and we never were.
Oh good, I'll kill you then.
You're
Here we go.
Now my lady will know your strength. Next time she'll send more of us against you. But if that's what you want, then I'll go.
I agree with the armored wench. You are mad, both of you, stark and raving.
No. We planted a seed. Now we wait and see how it grows. Come. We should return to the chapter house and decide our next move. Unless you still have business here.
Alright, let's go.
I'm ready. Our business here is done.
Back to the chapter house.
Against the might of the 10th Legion, even the Archon Rajani could not stand. Jane Cassinda's lieutenant was vanquished, her mercenaries' hold on the Rukenval broken. In times past, the Legion's judgment was merciful and fair, and you chose to spare her life. Who can say how an unexpected mercy might change an enemy's heart? As the folk of the Rills set about rebuilding, we prepared for our next move. Our old enemy was stronger than she had ever been, and she still plotted our demise. The Rukenval chapter house would not be our sanctuary, but a staging ground for what was to come.
The largest 500-person orgy ever.
Martin tells me that Jane Cassinda was behind this. She acted fast. That means she's afraid.
Rajani was full of lies about the Legion. We set her free as a sign of goodwill. If we can make Jane see that she's wrong.
You're an idealist, Martin. Don't assume our enemies have honor. Least of all, Jane Cassinda.
Why is Jane Cassinda so determined to kill us?
Because she's a bitch.
It's a mystery. Always has been. As far as we know, she was raised by the Azanite Church. An orphan, maybe. Or a rich man's bastard daughter. Must have been 18, 19 years old when the king died. She paraded through the streets of Düsseldorf, claimed he'd been murdered by the Legion.
Was there any truth in what she said?
No. My father would never have died for the Legion if he believed Jane's lies.
Some legionnaires did believe. Bohemund of Sedelus, Garen Marcel, prominent men. They renounced the Legion, stood by while the rest of us were hunted and killed.
Why
Alright.
did anyone listen to Jane?
She was young, beautiful, full of passion. Spoke like she truly loved the king, but she couldn't have known it. Half the country was in love with her. A living saint, they called her. Still do out east where the church is strong. And people were jealous. We'd grown too rich and too fat. That was the Legion's sin, if you ask me.
So Jane turned the people against us. What then?
Jane had the church behind her. She raised mobs in the cities, Düsseldorf first, and the towns of the east. Then Stonebridge, Glacier, everywhere else. In Stonebridge, the legionnaires refused to fight, wouldn't raise their hands against the people, just stood there and died. Mount Baron made his last stand here, in Rukenval. The people here stayed loyal, so Jane had to march an army north. You know how it ended.
She held singing competitions for the best undiscovered talents in the country. The people loved her.
And you were the only survivor. How did you escape?
Ebian Idol.
Don't die easy. And I don't believe in noble last stands. Far as I'm concerned, the war's still on, and even if I'm the last soldier in the field, until I put a knife in Jane Cassinder's eye.
Our numbers are too few. Can we find more men and women of Legion blood?
Might be a few left. Not enough to build an army. But if we spread the word that the Legion has returned, we can rally Jane's enemies against her. We should start by reclaiming the Grand Chapter House, the old Legion headquarters in Stonebridge.
Have you heard any news from Stonebridge?
If I had to guess, more smokestacks, more spinning machines, more metal men clanking through the streets.
So the Stonebridge chapter house is different than the others?
It's bigger, grander. They built it during our golden age.
It has a jacuzzi.
Destroyed the second.
It's the best one. It's very pimp and fly.
Hang our banners out front. People will hear that the Legion's returned.
Are you sure the chapter house wasn't destroyed?
By the people of Stonebridge? No, they never would. It's their mark of shame.
Huh.
Reminds them how they betrayed the Legion, and they don't dare forget.
How do
Alright.
we get to Stonebridge then?
Stonebridge lies to the south and west, on the far side of the swamp. The Tsar's people have repaired the bridge, so the road should be open again.
Sweet.
Martin and I will stay here for now. Help the locals rebuild.
We owe them. They've endured a great deal for our sake.
We have a causeway gate here. Surely there must be another in Stonebridge.
There is, but it's shut. Montbaron ordered most of them closed to stop Jane Cassinder from using them.
Alright, I
against
gotta get there and activate it.
A causeway gate can only be opened from the outside, and
oh.
only by a privileged few.
Holy
Why
crap.
send me? We could all go together.
The Radiant Youth chose you for a reason. You're meant to lead us, not Martin, not me.
All right. I'll head south for Stonebridge.
Jane Cassinder controls most of the land between here and Stonebridge. Her soldiers wear the raiment of the Asdronite Church. Avoid them if you can.
Once you're inside the chapter house, look for the causeway gate. Open it, and you can bring the rest of us through.
You're the vanguard of the Legion. All our hopes go with you.
Alright. New quest. So I think what I'll do, let me go back to town and redeem that other quest that I didn't redeem yet. And once I do, right, it's still active. Yep. I'll redeem that quest and then we'll head the other way across the bridge and go into the swamp.